It's true. Okay. Yes, we can see it. No.
Can you see now?
Yes, we can. I can.
Okay. I want somebody else to confirm if you can see it.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
So yes, sir, we can.
Okay. So how many of us are familiar with this page? Just say yes. I may not be able to see your hand if you are raising your hand. Just say yes, yes, yes. Just say no if you are not familiar with what you are seeing on the screen. If you are familiar, say yes. If you've seen it before,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
okay. If your answer is no, just say no. Good. So that means we are at least we have basic knowledge of Excel. If you are familiar with this page, if you have been to this page, if you have worked with this page before, and just to add picture to what we were told earlier on, this is Excel workbook. This is Excel workbook, and like we have been told, when you open your workbook, you can work with several worksheets inside a workbook. Inside a workbook, you can say, if you follow my cursor, you will see down here, uh, that's a sheet that's open. You can see another one, small data set. This is another one, the one I just opened now, sheet one. You can see another one. So you can open several sheets inside a workbook. Let me hide this. Okay. So you can open, you can see the way I'm opening with the plus sign. And we have been told that we have several worksheets that we can open inside a workbook. And if you look up here, you will see the name of this workbook. You
Really
see the
quick
name of this
interruption.
workbook.
Sorry, quick
Yes, ma'am.
interruption. Can you please check if somebody's trying to join or you've admitted?
No, it's open. It's open. So they can join freely. Hello, ma. Can you hear me, ma?
That's fine. That's fine. Thank you. No said.
Okay. So if you check up here, you will see the name of this workbook, fast track data set. So inside that workbook, I have several worksheets there. Okay, so let me close these ones I just opened. Just close them. Okay, let me open this. So we are told, we are giving some numbers earlier on that we have over 16,000 column. Over 16,000 column. What do we mean by column? This is what we mean by column. This is what we mean by column. So for like this data set now, we have a basic tech column, we have basic science column, we have business study column. Okay, and each column is identified by letters. So start from A, just like that. And we have over 16,000 column. And so you can work with as many data as you want. Then talking of rows, come to your left side here. This is rows. This is rows. And we're told we have over 1,000,000 rows. Over 1,000,000 rows. That means if you continue going down, 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 please, you can just keep going. You can keep going as much as you want. as much as you need. Excel is there to accommodate your data. Okay. So talking of column and row, the point at which column and row intersect these boxes is what we call cell. It's what we call cells. It's what we call cell. And that is what we have over 17 billion cells. So if you look at these cells now, let's just put it here. These cells now. So these cells have their own identity to identify them. So how do you identify these cells now? Okay, so you identify cells by column and rows. By columns and rows. So if you look at it now, these cells now is under E column. It's under E column. Then row 4. Row 4. So if you want to describe this column now, you can call it E. You can call it E4. If you want to describe this column now, it is E4. This column is E5, E7, F7, G7, just like that, Okay, so hope we understand that. So let's start with it. Let's look at this column, at this data set. This is just a picture of what we refer to as a very large data set. This one is not even very large like that. But for this class, you can call it a large data set. So you can see that how many, let me just scroll over and somebody tell us how many rows we have on this data set. How many rows that we have? Let me just scroll down. So how many rows do we have? I need someone to help out. How many rows?
170.
170. Thank you so much, Patty. 170. Now, how do we know the numbers of column? What do we do? Let's go to the sideway. So what's the last column? Is the last column.
C.
Last column. C. Yes, thank you. So now imagine you need to work with a data like this. You need to work with data like this and where you are giving time. Okay. So you need to understand some to have some skills around data cleaning, data management, for you to be able to work effectively with this data like this. Okay, so what we are going to start with, if you look at this data now, let's just have a scan through this data. Let me pick this column now, column F, that has to do with name of village and town. If you look at this, what do we observe under this column? Let me scroll down. What do we observe? We'll see that we have some missing missing cell, missing data there, like this now. There's a missing data there, there's a missing data here, there's a missing data here. If you look at here, data is also missing, the data is also missing, right? The data is also missing here. So that means the data on this sheet is not complete. And how will you start working with a incomplete data or incomplete data set? Okay, so you need to first of all find out the missing data. You need to find out the missing data. So let me take us to the small data set to look at how we can quickly work around that. how we can work around that. So let's look at this now. This is very small for us to have a quick overview so that we can go along. So the same thing we can see here. Let me see. I think there is a data that is missing here. There's another one missing here. There's another one missing here. Okay. Because this is a small data set, it is easier for you to quickly scan through and identify the cells, the empty cells. It is easier. But when you are dealing with a data like this, it may become too tedious. And you cannot be assured of getting an accurate result. Accurate if you want to start looking at it one by one. So there is a way to go around. Let's just look at one or two ways to do that, to identify the missing values or the empty cells within a data cell. Okay. So what do? We can just try and create a table for this data set. And try and create a table for the data set. Okay. So what do? There's a quick wheel around that. Okay. Let's try with Control A. So with Control A, I'm able to select the data space or the data area with Control A. Let me do it again. Just press your Control button and letter A on your keyboard. You'll be able to select the data area, okay, the whole data table. So after that, just go to your home here, okay. Then go and look for find and select. Find and select that have that symbol of as if you want to search. This is it. Find and select. Okay, so if you click on it, go to special. Just click on special. Okay, so when it opens, what do you want to do? You want to look for blank cells, right? So just come in and pick blanks. Pick blanks and okay. So you can see now, the blank cells has been highlighted. You can see those gray blank cells has been highlighted. So you can quickly begin to look at it. Okay, we have under basic tech, which name Oluyinka Adewoye, his call is missing. Basic science, Henry Ajibola is missing. Business study, a law of Mologe is missing. Like that. All right. Now, what else can you also do? You can come here and just put in, let's say, they are not available. Let me put in a capital letter and see. Let's see what will happen. Not available and Control Enter. So you can see now. So you'll be able to pick out and label the empty space, empty cells. Okay. So why you need to do that is because if you, let me go back. If you at this stage now, if you click on any space outside the table, that identification can go. Okay, and you want to work with this data, so it is ideal you just find a way to label it so that you can continue to now take your time to look at it one by one. Okay, so let's go over it once again. Somebody can help out that process if we are able to pick it. Now I want to go over it again now. So what's the first thing we should do? What's the first thing?
Highlight.
Yes. Was it
You highlight by pressing Control A.
Control A? Thank you. Control A. Then after that,
You go to home.
home. Yes. find and select,
Right.
right? So what are we
Yes,
going
sir.
to pick here?
Go to special.
We'll speak special.
Yeah. Okay,
Then
what are we going to pick here?
blank.
Bank.
Select
Blank and okay. Okay, so quickly you come to your function bar here. So you put in NA or anything you want to put it just to identify or to pick that one. So when you write it, then what do? Control, press down your control button and enter. Enter key. Yes. So now you can now begin to walk along with it. Now take your time to look through. Okay. So that's one of the ways. Okay. Now another way you can also go around this. Another way you can also go around this, which is also easy for small data also. We can go by sorting. We can go by sorting for us to just know how many columns, how many cells are empty under each column. So what do we do? Let's come to sorting here. You can see sorting here. Okay, so filter. So when you filter, so you can see the button that appears under your headers. Each of the headers now has a button. So if you come to each one of them, like this basic science now, I just click on this arrow button. So you can see the details of the data under that column. Okay, so these are the numbers. So let's just look down. Do we have any blank space there? If there is blank, it will show us that there is blank. So you can see that we have blank there. Okay. Then let's see. Let's check another one. Let's see the one that might not have blank. Let's say ICT. There's no blank. ICT. Okay. So why this one is useful for you is, let's say you are dealing with a data like this. Okay. Now, if you look at this data now, this first phase now, this upper part, you are able to see that, oh, there are some data that are missing. Or some large data like this, you might not even see. You might not be able to see. Just assume that this is what it's showing. Okay, apart from this empty column, okay, there's a missing data here. Okay. So when you are working, you might not be able to see or to know that data, the missing data may just be one or two, but you need to identify. You need to first of all confirm, do you have complete data before you start, before you progress, proceed working with it. Okay, so you can quickly do this to search through each of the headers or each of the column you want to work with and check. Oh, we have blank space there. Let's check. We have blank space there. Okay, so this indicator now, you can now decide to now go use the previous method to identify, to sponge out those empty spaces. Okay, so let's go back. Let me take off the filter. So lastly, let's look at another way to also identify or sponge out the empty space. Okay. So what you do, let's go to conditional. The first thing, okay, the first thing you do, you highlight your data space. You can also do that by Control A, like we did before. So go to conditional formatting. This is it. Conditional formatting. Click on it. Now look for new rule. New rule. Where is it? This is it. New rule. Click on it. Please, if I'm faster, please let me know. I want to assume some of us are writing those formulas or the way we are navigating. So I did you note it so that you can use it to practice on your own. So if I'm faster, please just let me know to slow down. Okay, so new row. So after that, come up here, look for format only cells that contain. So let's highlight that. That's all we need. That's all we need. Format only cells that contain. Okay. So what do we do? Let's look at this. It said edit the rule description. Okay. So let's look at it. Format only cells with. So let's change this now. We are not looking for cells with value. Said format only cells with cells value. No. So let's pick. What are we looking for? Blank, right?
Yes.
So pick blank. Okay. Now come here to format. Just pick format. It's showing you no format sets already. So pick format. Okay. Now, what do we want to do? We want to use color to identify those empty cells. So come here to, this is number, font, border, fill. Pick fill here. So pick your color. Pick your color. I love green. So let me pick this light green now. Okay. So just okay, you have picked the color you want to use. You can now see now the preview now is showing the color. So just okay it. So you can see now, just like the first one we did. But this one now, you don't need to come in and put any again. You just continue working. Just continue. So it will help you too. So if you are working with a large data like this, and there is one cell somewhere that is empty or that is missing, or a data that is missing, you do something like this, to just is a good indicator. Just scroll around, you will see the color, and you will know that, oh, this is meeting. So you can quickly call your source or consult your source document. Or if it is your boss or your junior officer or somebody that sent the data to you, you can quickly say, come on, let's look at it now. Basic text teacher. The scores for La Oloyinka is missing. The score for Bello is missing. The score for, I'll quickly sponge it out and get here. So do we understand this now before we move on? We understand, right?
Yes.
Okay, I can only hear one voice.
Yes,
Who is
sir.
that? That's Grace.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So let me take off the rules. You want to take it off, come back to your conditional formatting and go to clear rules. It will ask you, do you want to clear rules from the selected cells? We didn't select any cells, so we want to clear rule from entire sheet. Now it's cleared. Okay. So let's go to another phase. Let's move to another phase. If you look at this data, we can call it, we can say they are bad. This is bad data. And in professional, you can't work with the bad data. If you work with bad data, what are you going to get? Who can answer? If you work with bad data, what will you get? What results will you get? Eh? Oh, I need a response. I need a response. If you work with bad data, what will you get? What results?
Bad results.
You get bad result now. Thank you. You get bad results. And bad result is not rewarding. Nobody will pay you for producing bad results. Okay. So you need to fix your bad data. You need to fix it. Okay. You need to clean it up. You need to clean it up. The first thing we did is part of cleaning, is part of data cleaning. Okay. Because empty cells also make your data bad. So you have to polish it and fill it up. So what do we do now? Let's start with, let me bring us here. Okay, if you look at this, what can we say? What can we say about this column? This column has to do with, okay, let me put it there, names, right? What can we, or what do we observe under this column? Names. I want us to bring out our observation here. Let's look at it very well. You see anything that is bad there, that is not normal, just say it.
It's not
The names are not arranged properly.
I'm not according.
They are not arranged properly. Okay, so why? What are the things missing? What are the let's just be specific. What are the what is wrong with this, with the names?
Some are capital letters, while some are small letters.
Yes, some are capital, some are small. And I'm sure we can still recall our what is that English? GNS. I think English language used to be GNS 101. You can recall that if you write a sentence or compression or whatever, this is part of what you begin to take away your scores. Okay, there is a way to write names. There's a way to write names that we need to follow. So looking at this now, some are small, some are capital. Okay, what other things is wrong with it?
And there is a little bit space on some of the names.
Yes, a little bit space. What's the ideal space that's supposed to be there? How many space bar? This day is like one. It's one. If I want to write my name, Tolu, and my surname, ideally is just to give one space bar, write your surname. Okay. But when you have Tolu there, you have multiple space bar and write your out of it, and which we can see here. Okay. Then if you look at it, some also like this, Ladipo Olubenga, no space at all. No space at all. Look at Moses Ayokunle. Moses starts with small letter. Ayokunle with capital letter. It's bad. Okay. Look at this now. This is another Moses Ayokunle. Moses small. The whole of Ayokunle capital. Okay. So we need to fix all this before we can proceed. We need to fix it before we can proceed. So what do we do? Look at this now. There are spaces even before the letters. So what do we do? Let's come here now. Let's work with this one by one. Okay. So the first thing we would do, we'll fix all those errors that we identify one by one. Okay, so the first thing we'll have to fix, let's fix the spaces now. Let's fix the spaces. Okay, so what do we do? You create in a situation like this, don't forget you are working within a data set. Okay, just like this now. The same thing happens there. Okay, so we'll come back here and work together on this data set. So let me do the explanation here. So what do you do now? You create an empty a new column in front of the name. Let me put it here. Okay, so in front of the first one, you pick that cell. So you use your function. And what we want to do now is called trimming. It's called trimming. We want to trim it. We want to trim this column, right? So you come here and you put in your function. And what is your function? Function usually starts with this sign, equal sign. Usually starts with equal sign. Okay, so you put your function which is equal, then trim. That's what you want to do. You can see it's already showing. Okay, trim, then you open your bracket here, Now you now go to where you want to trim. So let's pick this now. We want to trim this cell. Don't forget, when we started, I told you that each cell has identity. The same way we have NIN number as individual Nigeria, we have NIN number. It's our identity as in Nigeria, identity number. Each cell also has its own identity. So the identity of this cell is B2. You can see it's showing now B2. Okay, so you pick that. You want to trim that cell. Just close the bracket. Just press your enter. Why is it not showing? Sorry. Let me create it anew. Trim. Sorry. Equal to trim. Open your brackets. Pick it. So you can see now. This one is not is okay, right? This that does not have error, space error. Okay. So what do we do now? We can continue. Come here again and say trim equal to trim. Open your bracket, pick it, close it, enter. You can see now that the space is closed up. Okay. Yes, you can continue like that one by one, but that doesn't make you a professional. It will also take your time if you are working with a large data. So what do? You only need to have the first one. You only need to have the first one done. So just come here. At this, you see a small rectangle box at the edge, down, your left down, right side down. So just come here. That is how you will know that you have on that box is when your cursor changed to plus sign. So just double click. Just double click. So you can see now the space issue is solved. The space issue is solved. Let's close up the spaces. Okay. So we are done with that. We have solved the first issue, which is spacing. Right? We have done that one. So let's go to the second one. I want to believe we know because since we have the foundational knowledge, so that's why I'm not going around how to delete, how to create column. But if you don't know, please talk so that we can emphasize on it. So I want to delete this now. Let me create another one. Okay, so what's the next thing we want to solve now? We said some are small letter, some are capital letter. Okay, now you can decide. What you are working with may not be names, because names, we have a proper way of writing names. Each name starts with capital letter. Or maybe it's even something else you are working on, or you even want to choose that all through you want to work with small letter, lowercase. So that means we have to change all these things to lowercase. So how do you do that? Lowercase.
Okay.
So come here, the same thing we did here. Pick your first cell, then put in your function. And the function to do that is equal to, just put lower. You want to change it to lowercase, open your bracket. Now pick the first one, which is going that they will say close it or not, just enter. So you can see now that it has changed
Too small.
to lowercase, all lower small letters. So double click and it works. Everything changed to small letters. So you continue working. Another way to double click, because some of us, this double click might not work. If it doesn't work, just drag down. Just press down your left button on your keyboard, left click, press it down and drag. In case that double clicking is not working. Yeah, this is done, right? So what's the other thing we need to solve? Who can tell us what's the other thing we need to solve? Now we want to put all the name in uppercase, capital letter. Want to put all the names in capital letter. Okay. The save options, you put your equal signs, and you put your, you want to do capital letter, right? That is uppercase. So you put in upper, open your brackets, click enter, change to uppercase, back down. We are done with that. Okay. Now, want to put it in the proper way, the name that is supposed to appear, proper way that name is supposed to appear. And what's the proper way? Each name starts with capital letter. Each name starts with capital letter. So it is called proper. Okay. So what do we do? Same thing, proper. Click it, enter. Right. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can see now that it's getting better. See where we started from. We started from here, and it's getting better, more organized, looking beautiful. Yes, until we get it properly. Okay. Now, in some situations, especially where you are working with large data, and when you are just starting, it happens to me several times. Then, because this thing happen like, I need to confirm that this thing I did, I've not missed it up. I've not taken Ojo for I know, right? So we want to compare this proper, right? Let's compare, we know we can't compare this is disorganized. Let's compare it with this, at least we've closed off the spaces. We want to compare two data in datas in two different columns. We want to confirm if what we have here is exactly what we have here. There's need to do check at times to be sure. Okay, so what do we do? That is what we call exact. Want to see if it is exactly the same what we have here. So what will you do? So we put in our function, right? And what do you want to do? Exact, right? Open your brackets. Now let's pick which one. What do you want to compare this now? C column, right? Want to compare that. Then you put in your comma, right? Put in comma. You want to compare it with which one? F, right? Then close it. So it's going to show you false. To tell you if it is true, if it is false, if it is exactly, if it is not. So let's drag down. So can you see the result we have? Some gave us false, some gave us true. So let's query the result. Let's query it. Let's see. This false. Why is it false? What is changing? Why is it false? Who can identify? This and this. Why is he saying it's false? This Bengadewusi and this Bengadewusi. Why do we have false as a result? What is different? Who can help out? Nobody can spot the difference.
Okay. From that first one, that Wenga Adewusi, okay,
This one.
from the spacing, we have small letter starting with Adewusi.
Dewusi.
Yes.
Yes.
Why improper? the Adewusi started with capital letter A.
Capital letter. So it's not the same. But you can just be looking at it and say it's the same now. Adewusi. If you see, look at the second one that said true, the same thing. Idowu, Adedokun, the same capitalization, small letter, space, the same with this. Okay. So just to check in case you need, but the actual says as far as this data is concerned, that doesn't disqualify this. It is just you to now decide, okay, or which one, because why I'm asking this now, why I do this check now is because I want to take off the ones we don't need there, since we are done. And this is what we need. This is what we need. We want to work with the proper, right? We want to work with the proper. So I want to believe now we understand we can do spacing, we can trim to solve the space issue. We can change our data to lowercase or true. We can change to uppercase or true, and we can put our name proper in a proper format. Okay, and we can do a quick check between two data in two different columns. Okay. Now, before we proceed, let's come here. So you are going to do this for me. Let's quickly work on this. You are going to do it for me. And we'll do that within the next 3 minutes because of time. So here now, we want to work on this name here. So what's the first thing we should do? Quickly, what's the first thing we should do here? The first thing is create a new column.
Okay.
You need that field to work with. That's where you want to work. Okay. Now, we want to solve the space issue now. So what should we do? I need somebody to lead us through. I check now. You didn't write it down. Check where you wrote it and lead us through. Should I even call names so that we're sure we are all together? Zainab, are you with us? Zainab. Zainab is not with us. Femi. If you don't know, just tell me you don't know. So I just want to know if you are with us.
Yes,
Femi.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. What should we do? Do you know?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Latif.
Yeah, I think we do trimming.
Trimming, yeah. So what's the function?
We do equals to trim, then the cell we want to trim.
You have to open your bracket first. Then which
Yeah.
cell are we picking? What's the cell we are picking? We are picking B2. Right. Enter. Okay. Then this one, you can see that it's the same. It's as if it doesn't, because there is no, it's recognizing this as one name, because initially there is no initial space. So it's not the case of too many spaces. So that's why. So just double click. Yes, so we have solved that, right? Okay, I need someone else to also take us through this. What's the next thing? We want to solve let's put it in
Spacing.
lowercase. Let's put it in lowercase. We've done the spacing now. We've trimmed it. So if you want to put it in lowercase, what's the function? Equal to, it's just the name, lower. Is that space that's different? Space you use trim. This one you just use the name, what you want to do, lower, right, open, and pick. That one is done. Double click. Right. Uppercase. Now I don't even need to. Let me just be using this. So once you do change to uppercase now, let's do equal to what's the function? What are we using?
Upper
Upper
and brackets.
bracket, then we pick
The color.
upper.
Yeah.
So we want to put it proper.
Let me do proper.
Okay, want to do proper. Let's do proper. We open, we pick. Yes. It appears they are not proper, but look at this. This is improper. Now proper.
Yeah.
So this one, you are going to correct it manually. It's Ajayi, you just create your own space. You can see now
Okay.
that's corrected. Okay, so let me take it off. Let's go back to our small. So the next thing now, what do we want to do? Now look at, let me come back here. Okay, let's still continue. Let me take off this. Now, some name might come to you like this. Benga Dewusi, that's a first name and surname together. But now you want to separate it. You want to separate the first name from the surname. Okay, you want to separate the first name from surname. So what do you do? We come to the empty column in front. Okay. Now highlight where is the first name now? First name, surname. So you highlight. Now, we put a table the other time. Sorry, it's Control T. So you put your table. I want to put table. Why I press is Control T. Okay, I want to put it in table. Control T. And I pick it here. It's asking me if my table has headers, and which it has. So I put it as headers. Okay. So you can see what it's showing. You pick from F to H. From F1 this cell to H22. F1 to H22. That is the decision of the table they capture. Okay. Now I've put it in table. Let me take off this so that it won't be confusing. Oh, okay, let me go on. I will show you, I will tell you what happened now later. So you put it in table. So what you just do is just come here. What's the first name? Benga. Just put in Benga. Right? Come to the next one, Idowu, right? Now, the moment you wrote Idowu, you see what happened? Just press enter. So it already picked the command. You already understand that, okay, what you are trying to do, the moment you do the first one, you are doing the same, the second one is exactly the same thing you did. It will pick the command and do the remaining one for you. So you already understood that, oh, it's like this person is trying to pick the first name and it completes it with you for you. So the second one also, Adewuse. Just try the first Adewuse. Second one, right, Adedokun, Ade. You know, it is first of all, pick Adewuse, thinking you want to repeat. Okay, but the moment you will realize that Adedokun, realize that, oh, this is the second one you are trying to pick, then it will understand the command. Just enter. Just press your enter and it's done. Right? Another way we can also do that without even enter is when you write your Benga. Just come to the next row and just press your Control E. Control E, that's equalizer, Control E. It will fill it automatically. Adewuse. Then come to the next row, Control E to complete it. Did we get that? Did we get it? Or we should go over it again?
So when you press Control E, I can't get it well, but it's adding E to all the names, all the first name.
It's adding what?
E to the end of all the first name.
Okay, let's check again.
I think there's a mistake with the
Okay.
Benga.
Yes. Yes, you are right. I made there's an error and should be Benga, not Benge. So let's see now. Control E. Okay, that's solved. Thank you. That's solved. Then Adewuse also. Control E. It's also solved. Okay. So did we get that? I want to do another. There's another method we can use. So we are going to that now. Let me take off. Let me move this. So let's use another method now. We want to separate this now into two columns. We want to separate it into two columns. So what do we do? Let's highlight the column we want to separate. Want to separate directly. So you highlight that column you want to separate. And you come to your data. Where is data here? Look up data. Okay. And look for text to column. Text to column. So what do we do? Just check this. It's picked already. Delimited. If it's not picked, pick it. Okay. So go to next. Now, let's look at it now before we know what to pick here. The names here, the separator here is a space. So we pick space. If it is comma, they use to separate the names there, you pick comma. But here, we are dealing with space. They use space. So you pick space. All right. And what's next? That's okay. Just go to next. General finish. No. I'm coming now. Okay, let's do something first. Now, this cell is formulated. All these cells are formulated. You know, we arrive at this with functions, right? And if you look at it, how do you know what is inside the property of each cells? Is it will show here. When you put your cursor inside any cells, the property will show. So if you notice now, instead of showing Idowu Adedokun, it's showing the function, right? So let's change it so that we have the normal names inside each cell. So we just do copy and paste. You just do copy and paste. And I'm sure we all know how to copy. You copy, then let's paste it here. Control key. You can paste direct like this, Control key. What is this now? Sorry. Copy. Paste is Control V, not paste, not P, sorry. Control V. Now, because it's special character, it's already showing you the box, giving you options there, paste options. So we paste, then come to paste option, then pick values. You want the real values to appear. Now let's check now. Now it's showing the real names. It's not showing the options again. That's one way. Another way to do that is when you copy here and you want to paste here, you can come to your home, come to paste here, then pick value straight. Okay, so we have our names now. So let's go back to what we tried to do the other time. So let's highlight now. We want to separate it. Now. So let's come back to our data. Text to column. Limited. Next. We pick space. Finish. So you can see now it has separated it. So just rename the headers. First name. Surname. So you can see how well it's going to save you time if you understand all these functions. Instead of you to start creating, what do we used to do? And I don't know, I want one of us that have had this experience to confess now. Confess now. Let's confess our sin. What do we used to do? We will come and we begin to type one by one. If you are in that shoe, I want you to confess and say, yes, I'm there. Then we say, Adebayo, have you done something like this before? Somebody wants to confess. You have not done something like this before. You begin to do it one by one. Eh? If you are not confessing, then I will assume what you said when we were starting that you are familiar with this page, you have worked with Excel before. I will assume it's no. Then we begin to do it one by one. Nobody has done that before. Nobody. I want you to remain silent. So. But if you are able to have this knowledge, you will realize that you will work with your data very, very fast. Very, very fast. Now, do we understand all this now before we move on? We can't go over it together again because of time. But do you understand? If you don't understand, let me know what exactly you don't understand before we move on to another thing. You understand, right? Okay. Thank you. Let me take off this now. Let me take off this. Now, let's look at this. There's another thing here we didn't observe the other time. If you look at these names here, let's even look at this one that is that we have cleaned up now. There are repetitions. There are duplicates. Here is Bengadewu Siras. Let's see. Moses Ayokunle. He's another Moses Ayokunle. Right. So there are some duplicates there. There are duplications there. You know, you may have a case, maybe the data you are working with is generated from all 9 applications. The application all 9, and we have some candidates that applied twice, submitted the application twice, they send it their information twice. Okay, so how do you identify? If you look at this also, I'm sure there are also duplicates here. If we look at it, let's even do that here. Let's do that with this large data. So how do you quickly identify if you have duplicates or duplications on your data sets? If some you have double entries, how do you quickly identify without you looking at it one by one? And so what do we do? Just highlight the column you want to verify. Highlight that column. Now come back to your home, conditional formatting. Conditional formatting. Now highlight sales rules. Highlight sales rules, you will see something like duplicates. If you look through, let's check. Yes, duplicate values. So just pick it, duplicate values. Now it's now asking you, add your preferences now. Duplicate values with. Now, it's telling you to pick colors you want to use to identify. This is yellow. You can see that even if you are checking this place, that you will see the color is changing. So you can pick, just pick whatever color you want to use. Okay. Then okay. So it has helped you to identify the duplicates. You can see now we have Wale Akinyemi twice. Let's also check down. We have Omote Ishe Ayomide. Yes, let's see. Andrew Popola. You can see that. He's another Andrew Popola. He the second Omote Ishe Ajao Ife 3 times. Can you imagine? So you have like that. So it has helped you identify. So what you need to do is just to begin to take off the ones you don't need. Begin to take it off. Begin to take it off. So you can do the same thing for every other column, and you can even do the same thing together. You can highlight the entire data space and do exactly any whatever you want to do to identify the duplicates. Identify the duplicates. Okay. Then you can also do counting. I forgot that. That's part of where we're supposed to start from. You can do counting. Let's count. No, the other time we identify some blank spaces here. Blank spaces here. There is a way we can quickly know how many blank cells do we have. How many blank cells do we have? Number one, let's even do how many cells do we have data. if you see what it's showing, just here, beside these red blurs down, it's showing us the content, the details of that data space I highlighted. It's showing us is 23 rows and 10 column. 23 rows and 10 column. Okay. So we want to find out how many data do we have within that space. Okay. So what do we do? So let's just, any space, let's just use here. So you just put your functions there. Equal to, so you want to count. That is what you just want to do. You want to count. So put your count, open your bracket, then pick this data space you want it to help you to count. Just highlight it. Okay. Then just enter. So it's already, it has helped us to identify that we have 214 data within that space. 214 data. So it will give you an idea, it will help you to know what you want to work with. So in a situation where, let's say you have, you are working with, you have officers on field, maybe it's payroll, and you already know that you have 600 staffs and you want to pay, and this data comes from different branches. You send it from different branches, you put it together. You already know that you want to work with 600 data. Okay, so for you to confirm that you have exactly the number you need to work with, you can quickly do that. It will show you. Okay, and if it is less, then how do you even know the numbers of empty ones now or missing data? So to know the numbers of missing data, that's the blank cells. So just put your equal to. So what you want to do, literally, we want to count the numbers of blank. So just put count blank. Count blank. Okay. Open your bracket, then go back and pick the data space. So we can see now that we have 16 blank spaces, missing numbers, missing results, missing scores. If you don't do this, you go ahead to find total. And you go ahead to find total for all these children. A child that's supposed to pass, fail. If you don't find out, for you to now source for the missing data, just give them. I think that is what happened to Jambo, the last jam that they released wrong results. They didn't do their data analysis very well. They didn't manage their data very well. Okay. So it is when you have gotten this indicator that you have 16 blank space and you are working with a large data set, then you can now quickly go to identify, to sponge out the blank space the way we did the other time using color, so that you can quickly trace them. Do we have any question at this point before we just do one or two more things and call it a day? Do we have any question? Let me pause and entertain our, for if we have any need for clarity. Do you have anybody that needs any clarity in any way? No, right? Okay. So let's just do we are half done with our data, at least with what we have been able to do now. If you have any bad data, I believe you are being equipped now to be able to put it together, at least to a stage that you can now begin to work. You can analyze. It is when you are done with all these things, you can now begin to analyze. You can now say, yes, I want to analyze. I want to find average. I want to find the total. I want to find the total We want to find the average scores. We want to find the median. We want to even do the ranking. We want to do the results. I think those ones are what we will also do in the next classes. Okay, but the first step is to keep your data in order, so that you can be sure that the moment you start working with the data, you are getting good results. You are getting reliable results. Okay, so let's just do two quick things before we go today. Now, we want to see how we have situations where let me see. We want to change, let's say, you want to change the arrangements. You want to analyze for each person now. We want to see, we want to sponge out Benga's results, performance alone. Okay. Now, so in that case, we will want this row to appear on column so that we can put Benga's results in front of it. Okay, so we want to do something like this now. We want to change this table now for Benga to something like this. That will have subjects and scores. Subject and scores. Okay. So how can we do? That means we want to move this. We want it to come like this. What do we normally do? We begin to type one by one. Basic tech, basic science, or we even copy. For those of us that we can begin to copy one by one, you are just taking your time. You are just, I don't want to say wasting, but you are using your time, but not effectively. Not effectively. Or not efficient. Yes. Okay. And we have to be efficient. It's our work. So what do we do? What do we do? So we just copy like this. Control C, copy. Then come to where you want to put it. Like this. You want it to come down. Now, we can right click. Paste option. Let's look at it one by one. Paste P, no. Value, no. Formula, no. This is what we want. Transpose. Transpose. See what is in front of that transpose, letter T in brackets. So we'll come back and try that if it will work. So transpose. Get it done. Then come to Adewusi. Pick it. Copy. Come here. So what should we do now? Somebody help us. What should we do? Who is there? What should we do? Should I go back? Let me go back. Let me do this again. The subject now, I copy it. Let's look at it. Then I come here under subject. I right click, and I pick my paste option, which is transpose. That is it. So for the subject now, We want to bring the subject in front of your discourse. So what do we do after we copy? And we come here. So what do we do now?
Right click.
Right click. Thank you. Then what?
Mm. Yes.
It is called transpose.
Yes, transpose. Yes.
That is it. Now let's try Control T and see if it will work. Because they are showing us T in front of that transpose. So it's here. Abe, Control T. So it's working. So instead of right click, you just pick Control T and it's now asking you. Now let's just follow through and see what the result will be. My table has header. This place is empty, but let's just leave it like that. Okay. Does it work? Nobody answer now. Did it work?
So
Eh? So what happened? Give us a table. Control T is table. We've used it before. We've used it before. So what it did is it worked. It worked. If you look at this table, maybe because we didn't highlight this table, or we didn't put it in. Let's just put the borders. If you look at this table, okay, let's do it again. Let me do something again so that we will know if that Control T works or not. So what we will do, let's do this. Let's just do the experiment. I also don't know if it will work or not, but let's look at it together. Let's just do this one. Let's pick this alone. Let's copy it. Right? So let's come here. So let's do our Control T. And that is one thing about Excel for you to, on your own, just begin to work around it. Now, what led me to this is because when I right click and I see T in bracket in front of that transpose, when you see something like that, it's telling you another option, a shortcut. It will tell you that instead of you to come here, here is a shortcut you can go. So let's follow it. Now, so here we pick my table as headers, right? So, okay, let's see what happened. This is what happened. Let me come here. Let's see what is there. Nothing is showing. So it's not giving us the results that we want. So what do? We go back to our previous ones, which is here. Come here. You can come here, pick your paste. If you don't want to right click, look for transpose. Let's look for where it is here. I'm looking for transpose. This is it. Okay. And you pick the second one like that. The results come here. Transpose and do it like that. Okay. I think we are getting to the bus stop for today. We are getting to the bus stop today. Now, what we did with that Control C, that's where we stop. This data set now, we want to convert it to table. want to convert it to table. We started with it. And I was expecting that somebody will remind us or will point us to that direction. That is what we start. That is where we started from, and we have used that. And I said it. I said we have used that function before. Control T is to convert your data to table, because what we have here is not table. It's just in a column, whatever. Now, so now your data is now in a table format. Now is in a table format. So do you understand the function of that Control T? Somebody's mic is on. So now you have it in a table, unlike what we have before. This is not a table. So how to convert your data to table is just come anywhere within this data space. Just click, put your cursor there, anywhere within the data space, then press Control T. T stand for table. Control T, then OK. If it doesn't have headers, don't pick this. If it has, pick my table as header. Then now you have it in table. Then you can now begin to do your analysis. And what are the few things we can do here? Right? Okay, let me do this before we go there. Sorry, we still have 10 minutes. Let me just do total. I'm sure we want to, the formula for addition, I want to believe we are all familiar with that. Equal sign, sum, brackets, then just pick the space you want to add together, enter. Now put it down. Let us assume we don't have empty. We can't begin to do that now. So what do we, okay, so let's now go back. I want to just take you to the point you can begin to now analyze your data. Okay. So now let's now convert it to table now. How do we convert it to table now?
I'm pressing Control T.
Control T. Okay. Now it's in table format. So quickly now we want to see how many subjects, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I think the total score for one is 100, right? 10 times 100, that's 1,000, if I'm right. So we want to see quickly, you can just have a quick view of the student that score above 500. You know, there is not small, it's a small data. So you can quickly do that. So you just come to the total here, right? You click on this arrow, then you highlighted everything here for you. Then what you just do, you can deselect all and manually pick the ones that are above 500. Is 582, 585, 590 above. You can see that it's even, is it? We'll check later. Because it's even in out there now. Okay. So you can see it has taken out, filter the ones below 500. So you can quickly just do your renumbering to quickly check. What's happening? Let's do it. I don't know why it's not working.
It's because some
You can
cells
just-
are hidden. Some cells are hidden.
Okay, yes. They are hidden, not deleted. Okay. So you can just quickly, I think we should be able to even know if we do this. Okay. Or you can quickly have the counting, head count of the numbers that students are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You get it? And have, and if you are working with, let's come here now. This is big. It's already have borders. So let's just filter it straight. Let's filter it straight now. So here now, I want to see what can we do. How many of them have startup businesses? I just want to work with. I want to work with the ones that have startup. Maybe because of the criteria for qualification here, this data is for application, and I don't need to work with. They've told me, just like when you submit your application online for job, and the conditions are there. For you to qualify, you must have 5 years work experience, 5-year work experience, or 5 years minimum. So what will I do? Let's say these people are job application. I'll just come to the years of experience here. And I will pick the only ones I need. I can deselect the ones I don't need. I need 5 years and above. I don't need startup. I don't need blank. So I only need 5 to 10 years and above 10 years. Okay. So I'm left with people that I need. Automatically, I'll screen out those other ones. They are off. I screen out. So I quickly look at what I need. What else do I need? Okay, we've done that. We want to see educational qualification again. I come here, I sort it again. What's the minimum we need? We need first degree minimum. Okay, so I don't need NDSA, I don't need senior SSC, I only need these two. I did this again. You can see that the number is coming down. From how many? 170 or so. You can see how it's easier. I think we have HR person there. So you can see how it works. So at times you can have 2,000 applications and your boss will just push the data to you and you begin to have a headache. Say, sure guy fẹ́ pa mí ni. For those of us that didn't understand, is this man want to kill me? How do I want to? It's very easy. So we have streamlined everything. What other qualification? Okay, who do we need, male or female? I think we are looking for female. Maybe it's we are looking is receptionist or secretary or marketer that we need. Sorry, apology to the females. Now I just pick the ones I need. Female. You can see now. Out of how many candidates? 170 candidates. I just use 3 parameters and I'm left with what? Just 2. So instead of me to be looking at those data one by one, I just need these 2. So I will now go and take their CV. These 2 people is just, I will just tell somebody, give me Najakaye Damilola and Lomotoye Oluwatosin. Or I may not even look at this. I will now look at their submission one by one, female, date of birth, the location, local government. I will look at it, then I will now pick the one I can invite for interview. If the 2 of them qualify, then I invite them for interview. And even if we can also still use age, we can use age. So, and that will take us to the last thing we will do before I drop the time this morning. Let me just take off the sort. Now, let me take it off. Now, let's quickly do something. I mentioned age now, and I remember. Now, you have data like this. The date of birth comes like this, and you want to just quickly know their age. What do we do? Instead of you to now pick your calculator and begin to press 2025 minus 2002 for you to know that this person is so years of age, just put in your function. And what's the function to do that? Don't forget your equal to. So you want to look at, you are working with dates now. So you say dated That means this Ajakaye Damilola dated if, dated if, and so that's one of the if functions. Then open your brackets. Now, if this age, this date of birth, you have picked it, that's a D83. If date of birth, assert, put your comma, assert today, put today, right? Now, open your bracket and close it. No, not this. What other name do they call this? Okay, this is it. Open it and close it. Put your comma. Now, as at today, you have picked it, date of birth as at today. Now, what do you need? I need the year. Just put your column, is it column now, or what do they call it? Quotation mark. Y stand for year, right? End the quotation, then end the bracket. Just press your enter. Now it shows you this person is 23 years. That's as at today. This person is 23 years. Just do your right click. So we are good. Oh, I did start from 1. Let me start from this also. I want to go back to that thing we did for us to see. Equal to dated if, then you open if this person as at this date of birth, comma, as at today, right? Then this is open it, put your comma, then open your quotation mark, Y. Now 29 S. So we have all the ages filled up, right? Any omission? Somebody is 0. Okay, this person put 2025. This person was born. You can see now, and I'm sure this is an error. So let's quickly do what we did the other time again, and now see how we can remind us the parameter we use. We use age first, right? Years of experience, right? Am I right? Did we follow the other time? What did we use first? Nobody is talking. Nobody is talking. Oh, we didn't get it there. We use the years of experience now. And we said we are looking for how many years and above? 5 years and above. So what do we do here? We take off the one we don't need. So we are left with these people. So what did we do next? I think we look for female, Abby.
Yes.
Okay, start up, Abby. No, I think female. Okay, no. Education qualification. Each qualification now. We said HND, BSc and above. Sorry. So we take off this. Yes. Now we now come to gender. We say we only need female. We are left with 2. Now let's assume that the age we need is 25 years and above. So what happened here? Sorry, please. So that means out of all 170, there's only one person that meets our criteria. So I'll just invite this person, they conduct interview for her, and if she performs, fine. If she doesn't, we seek for. So you can see, that's just a quick look into how these skills can help you in your data management and data analysis, and can make your work fast, smooth, and you get easy results, right? So I think on this note, this is exactly 10. We will have to stop here. and take questions, then talk around our assignment. I will call it homework. Because why I will say homework is if you refuse to submit it or to bring it back, we have little or no control over that. So I will only advise you, please do it and bring it back to us. So any questions at this point? And if there is no question, please, ma, can we still spare the next 10 minutes, ma? I want each one of them to just let us
Yes,
know
please. Yes,
what's
please.
it. Okay, ma. Thank you.
Yes.
So if there is no question, one after the other, you just tell us one or two things, at least if it is one. So that I want to know if I've been able to transfer knowledge or not. Right. So this is the first person here. No other. Zainab, can you tell us what's your take home from the section today? What's your take home? Zainab, are you there? Zainab, you are not there. Or you are there, you are not answering. Latif, what's your take home?
Yeah, thank you for the class. I'm able to gain few new things from this. I'm not gonna lie, I feel it's like too much of new things, so I'll have to take my time and go over it again. Thank you.
Too much of new things. So just mention one of those new things. One, just one.
I'll
Are
actually
you still
say,
there?
I've seen, I'll actually say almost all, though, almost all, but the comparing of the different columns and separation, I didn't get that.
Okay. Okay, you were unable to get that.
I was able to get that. I was able to get that.
Okay, you were able to get that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Thank you. Thank you. Femi. Femi.
Yes, I learned a few things. First, thank you very much for the class. I wasn't able to pay total attention because I was like shuffling some other tasks. So I'll plan against the next class. Well, yes, I did learn a couple of new things. For instance, the sorting of data where you have a blank cell. So how you are able to like sort that data and actually identify the blanks, especially when you have a large data set or data sheet. So yeah, the functions for that, and yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Who is there? Grace.
Okay. Sir, I want to thank you so much for the class. I was
Thank
able to draw a table on how to create a table on Excel sheets and how to solve big data, and create out some of the rows and the columns. Okay.
you. Thank you. OS, I think some people have left. I don't know. I think that's all. Okay. Okay, that's all. So I'm sure you already have this data set. We are going to send the one. Why you have the one you have is we hope that for those of us that have laptop, you can be working along with us. While we work, we will send the one for your homework to you separately. But this is what you are going to do. You are going to fill up this, right? You are going to fill up this from this name. Okay. Solve the spacing issue, put it in lowercase, put it in uppercase, and put it in a proper form, right? Put it in a proper form. Then you do the exact, yes. We'll put the instruction there. Then this one also will be sent to you in a raw form. Then you will put the table and sponge out highlight the missing, the blank cells. So the details, the instruction will be there for you. Then we'll send it to you today. So you work with it. The next class, if you have any issue with it, you will talk around it before we progress. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you for your time. And thank you for your engagement. So thank you so much, ma.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. At least it's been interesting. Please take notes. We will be sending you, I believe you already have some of the worksheets, but if there's an update, you will work on it that you'll get it today. Let's make it on time next week as well, because when we are on time, we are able to cover much more than when we don't come on time. All right. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Please go out and vote for those of you in Lagos. God bless you.
Thank you, ma.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
ma.
everyone.
Thank you, ma.
Remember to stop recording.